Welcome to the FedEx Courier template integration video. The following video will assist you in the configuration and deployment of the BPA Platform integration tasks and the associated staging database. It will act as a companion to the documentation and will highlight aspects of the solution that will require alignment with your own systems. This template is designed to function within a wider integration solution, where delivery details are already downloaded into the staging database courier tables from your e-commerce, ERP, or other business systems. It will post the delivery details to the FedEx API as shipments, download the base 64 label from the FedEx API based on the shipment details returned from a previous step, send the downloaded labels to a network printer, and then download the shipment tracking number and add it to the staging database. This can then be referenced and written into any subsequent document, such as email, SMS, or used by your webshop for the customer's benefit. You will require BPA Platform 2024, the Microsoft SQL Server Connector tool, Microsoft SQL Server 2016 or above to host the staging database, the Web Service Connector, and your FedEx API credentials. The BPA Platform related software can be downloaded via the partner area on the Codeless Platforms website. To obtain the template assets, please contact your account manager. We will start with generating the staging database. Open the downloaded folder and locate the following SQL script file. We will then drag this file to import it, and then click Execute. The staging database has now been imported. If we expand the trees, we can see the imported tables. In the staging database, you will need to populate a table called tblconfig to tell BPA Platform about the default configuration for FedEx integration. Begin by specifying the local file path where the labels from FedEx will be downloaded. We will populate other fields later in this video. For more information, please see the documentation. The connections must be imported prior to importing the tasks. In BPA Platform, with the Tools folder selected, we will click the Import button. Navigate to the Assets folder and locate the connection file, and then click Open. This will import the connections we require for this task template. Now that the connections have been imported, we need to make some configuration changes. In System, Tools, Data Connectors, open the Database Query ODBC tool. In the Connection window, locate Staging Database. In the Connection tab, you will need to reconfigure this to point to the staging database we created earlier. Then click OK and Close. Next, in Tools, Output, open the Send Email SMTP tool and select the connection named BPA and click Edit. Here you will need to enter your own email credentials. Once complete, click OK and Close. Next, go to Tools, Data Connectors, and open the Microsoft SQL Server Connector. Select the connection named B2C Staging DB v4_4 and click Edit. Open the SQL Server Connection General Node. Enter your credentials to the staging database to ensure BPA Platform has access. Once complete, click OK and OK again to close the windows. We will now configure the API key for the Web Service Connector. go to System, Tools, Data Connectors, and open the Web Service Connector tool. Select the connection named FedEx and click Edit. Open the Constants tab, and in the Client ID section, this is where you will need to enter your API key. To locate this, we will open the browser to the FedEx portal and copy the key here. Please note, we are using a sandboxed test environment. Back in BPA Platform, we will paste our API key. For the client secret field, we will go back to FedEx and copy the secret key. Then back in BPA Platform, we will enter this into the client secret field. Now complete, we can click Apply, then OK, and click Close. Next, we will import the tasks. Ensure the root tasks folder is selected and click Import. Then navigate to the downloaded assets folder. Locate the task file shown here and then click Open. Once the import process has completed, we can locate these tasks in the Codeless Platform's task template folder. In this section, we will populate the staging database with demo data. This is required as the template is designed to work alongside other integrations, and we need to simulate this interaction in order to check it is configured correctly. Let's open the Car Carrier FedEx table. We need to adjust the second value and populate this with your FedEx account number. And then click Execute to update the changes. We can now open this table and make note of the carrier ID and the shipper ID. Next, we will open the car shipper address table. Here we are using demo data, which will be used to populate the shipping label. Next, we will update the carrier ID and shipper ID in the table config data and click Execute to insert. We will open the three tables. Now we will open the FedEx delivery notes found in the downloaded assets folder. And in the first value, enter the carrier ID. Then locate and update the ship date, which must be set to a future date. We can now select this query and click Execute to update the staging database. Here we can see the prepared delivery note. Next, we need to update this value in Items with the delivery ID. And again, for the package record. We can now select this query and click Execute to update the staging database. We will then select these queries and click Execute. Let's check these values have been updated. Now that all the demo data is prepared, we can open BPA Platform. Go to Tasks, CP Templates, and open the FedEx task folder. We need to make sure that the BPA Platform client is authenticated in FedEx by running the Authenticate task. To prepare the FedEx connection for the first time, we will queue this task now. It will handle the authentication logic to FedEx to get the access token and store it in a global variable to be used by the other tasks for FedEx integration API calls. Please note that the token will expire every hour, so this task needs to run on a schedule every 40 minutes to refresh the access token in a real scenario. We will navigate back to the task folder and select the control task, and we can right-click and queue now. These tasks will now run in sequence. Once complete, we can open the staging database to confirm the tracking number has been updated in the staging database. Let's locate the shipping label that has been saved to the directory we specified earlier in the staging database config table. The file name for this will be the tracking number. Here we have the generated labels that have been downloaded from FedEx. We have 2 labels that have been downloaded as the package count is 2. In a real scenario, at this point, the label would be sent to a network printer as part of a bigger integration solution. And that's it for this video. If you require more details on this installation, please see the accompanying documentation or the tool white papers. If further assistance is required, please contact your account manager. Thanks for watching.